for sure. If that's it, then this is the second and it's over.
Nathan.
Yeah, hello.
Are we having another show, or is that it for today?
No, there'll be another one.
Oh, right, okay. Perfect.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Oh, I was gonna say that yesterday I was watching that guy Greatest Sapien. He did a rebuttal for this other guy. I don't know his. I don't.
You're breaking up.
To see what he said. I'm sorry. It's still breaking up.
I
A
don't
little
know.
bit.
Try again.
Right. And,
No.
the first thing he says,
We still connection problems. Seriously.
and then I guess I cannot speak right now. Then.
Can you
Yeah.
like recall in? Just recall in.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm driving. I'm a truck driver, so.
I thought so.
Yeah,
That's
them
why
satellites.
Them satellites, yeah. Yeah.
So, Anthony,
Your low reach zone.
any chance you can dig out that from that clip, the audio bit, and just play it on Skype at the beginning?
You mean the one where Gio was actually? It'll be in that video of mine.
Yeah,
but I can't find it this sec because I'm just in the middle of doing something on the computer. But I can. You'll have to give me 10 minutes.
No worries. It'd just be good to get it played. Otherwise, this will roll into tomorrow as well, won't it? I mean, not that I've got any issue battering Geo Schreiber for his idiocy, but, you know, it's nice to keep it concise. Or at least on the same day.
Are you going to call him retarded?
Well, he needed assistance from Soundly when doing what he claimed to be a one-to-one debate. So essentially what he's done is he said, I'll talk to you one-to-one about this subject. And what he actually did was have somebody in his earpiece telling him what to say. So I would assert that that is pretty retarded. He needs help.
You are fucking retard, Geo Schreiber. Fucking wanker.
No swearing during the show, though.
No, that was allowed. That's funny. I don't know about wanker.
Well, it was funny.
Just a cheat and a charlatan, you know. Why lie? Once you've been caught red-handed, why continue to lie?
To sweep it under the mat, I guess. Why else would you do it?
To hide your embarrassment. That's usually the cause.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not even that big of a crime in the first place, to be fair. I mean, yeah, it's not great, but...
Well, to some people, it's extremely difficult to admit when you're wrong or to apologize.
Because they're dishonest people.
Yeah.
That's why they're dishonest. They were never taught about being honorable and honest.
Yep.
All this stuff, you know. That's why they see you to your face and they lie, and for them it's nothing.
Yeah, they come all moral and high ground the minute something that suits their position. They become all holier than thou.
1 minute. We're starting again.
Oh, sweet. I'll have something to say, or actually ask for, if it goes live, when it goes live.
What about? What about Niels?
Oh, about some telescope stuff.
All right. Cool.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, then there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video once it's rendered. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by SX, The Plain Truth, Sleeping Warrior, Ranty Flat Earth, Jose, Apollo 16, Arwin, and myself. Good to have you all.
Hola. Hello, hello, hello. What?
Good afternoon.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
Yo, buenos dias.
Hello.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
So, any more dishonest ballers that want to make any weird assertions about weird things happening in one-to-one hangouts, or is that all finished now? I hope so.
There's plenty of weird ballers.
Sorry, I think Apollo wanted to present some footage.
Well, so I volunteer at a public observatory, and this is their main telescope. Surrounded, this is I think a 12-inch Maxitov, surrounded by smaller telescopes used for solar observation with a KEC and H alpha filter. And they recently have modified it. They have recently modified the mount so it can auto track objects, or sorry, so it can auto track lights. So, do any of you guys want something observed with a really good telescope? Because if you guys want something to be photographed, I can probably go to them and get it done.
Sigma Octantis.
Where did they get the money to get that thing together?
No, it's in the Northern Hemisphere, presumably, Anthony. Hemisphere
Yeah.
being a loose term, of course.
You can photograph Sigma Octantis from this. This is in the Netherlands, so pretty sure you can see it there.
Where is this?
This is at Oudenbosch. Oudenbosch.
Oudenbosch.
Yeah.
Look that up.
Want this is the how do you call it? The koepel. Wat is koepel in het Engels, Arwijn?
Dome.
Oh yeah, this is the dome that covers the telescope when it isn't observing, and this is the door that goes up all the way. I've actually, used this telescope once before. Really cool. Really impressive to look at. Maybe I can get some more photos.
So, can you actually physically look through a lens on it?
I've done it. It's a you can just mount an eyepiece on it if you want.
Just hearing you say it gives me goosebumps. I bet it's fantastic.
Yeah, and these are all. Well, I think it's always funny when big telescopes have like smaller telescopes. When this telescope would be like entry level or something. It's I think it's funny that we have this big telescope surrounded by smaller telescopes. And I think this red part and this right here are cameras, and this as well, I think. And recently they got a dedicated astronomy camera for the big telescope. So now they can take really high resolution photos with a dedicated astronomy camera. They got it, I think, last month or something. Oops.
Are they giving the pictures public?
But they don't really do any work. It's just for fun. But if you are part of them, you can just mount your own camera on it if you want. No,
Yeah,
I'm sure if you
they're
ask
like
for it.
They're like a
onto-
club. So it's
Do you
just
need a membership, or can you just come in and pay to do that?
Well, I could do it because I am digitizing their archive with several thousand slides. I'm not. If you volunteer, then of course you can use it. I'm not sure if there is a membership, but they do have days every year that they are sightseeing days where you can mount your own camera on it, I guess.
Okay, they have open days. That's okay. That's interesting. I might actually visit that eventually, especially once I get my P900 or 1000 or whatever it's gonna turn out to be by the time I finally get it. But yeah, it's pretty close by. It's not even half an hour away, I think, by car. Maybe an hour.
I've actually mounted my how do you call it, phone on it, and here you can see this is through the eyepiece. So they're basically mounting the in this case the how do you call it, phone lens in front of the eyepiece that you would normally look through with your own eye. So that's why it's all hazy. This is just the eyepiece. This isn't the telescope.
Alright.
So
So
this is
do you
the
have an address for me, perhaps, so that I might one day visit it?
yeah.
Yeah, but don't give the address on internet because
Oh yeah.
you never know with these pros, you know.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
Well,
too
you
worried
could put
about
it in a side chat.
Alright, you can just search Tivoli Sterrenwacht, and then you will get it. Tivoli Observatory. They give tours. You can pay for tours. Maybe you can, when you pay for a tour, you can ask them if you can use the telescope. I don't think you can mount your P9000 though. I don't think there is a mount for it. It doesn't. You can take off the lens, right? So no. You have to use an interchangeable camera. With interchangeable lenses. This doesn't say the filter. There are better ones.
Their building is a 80-90 building. Used to be a where monks live. Yeah, and it used to be a Jesuit monastery. Just to get that clear. But yeah, it's a very old astronomy institute.
Yeah. This is with their CAC filter. I don't think this is the main telescope. I think this is one of the smaller ones. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, the main telescope used to be at another location, but at another public observatory. But they got defunct about in 2003 or something, and I think somewhere in 2010 they moved the main telescope to another location with like a lot of money. It did cost a lot of money to move everything. I actually got this is really cool. So I scanned.
Is that Ross photo, Polo?
Sorry,
The one that you had just now?
this
The
one.
blue. Yeah, that one. Is that the raw data? The picture? And it's not been modified or anything?
It is stacked.
It is what?
It is stacked. So you take thousands of pictures and you put them all together to get a sharper final image. Because it's stacking.
And that's from what? The sun? What is that? What is that?
Yeah, this is the sun.
What? So why does it have a spotlight?
Oh, you mean here?
Huh?
Sorry?
Why does it have a spotlight instead of like I don't understand that.
I don't really understand what you are saying.
Yeah, I mean for me what I'm thinking is that like something was casting a light on it to make that like you see how it has shadows on the edge and then it has a spotlight.
I think that's just the lens.
It's because of the lens. Oh, okay.
I guess I would have to look at it myself at one time, to see it. Oops, bird. You can actually have a video of it actually. So what's really cool is that I am digitizing their archive, and they used to have a radio observatory, and they photographed the construction. So I digitized the construction of their radio telescope, if I can find it. Should be around here. It's going to take a while. Oops, wrong one. Ah, shit. Oops. Where is it? Oh no. Oh yeah, they actually used an old Nazi radar for their telescope. So this is the telescope at the old location. So they dismantled it in, I think, 4 different pieces or something. And this is the mount at the observatory. You can see the dome for their telescope. I think this is the dome for the main telescope you saw in the older photos at another location. All right. If we move further, they are making the mount right here. And you saw one of these smaller radio telescopes right here. This is part of the radio telescope. I think this is half of the dish, because they cut it in half, basically. Oops. Oh no, not again. Fuck. Not again. Thank Lord. And here they are hoisting up the main radio dish. Here it is almost at the correct location. And here it should be mounted. Looks like it. So yeah, that's cool that I was able to digitize those old slides from the 70s. This would be. They are still in pretty good condition. And the resolution is quite amazing. You can see how the dish is constructed. From yeah. So back to the visible telescope. Any observations you guys want done?
Hey, John.
What's up, gentlemen? Huzzah!
Sky, stars, moon, usual stuff.
Nothing going on, boring.
This is all very interesting and fascinating, but yeah, that is a Jesuit place. So here you even see astronaut stuff. It's just,
well,
I wouldn't bring up flat Earth over there if I were you.
No, of course I'm not going to. But if you guys want anything observed, you know, anything specific, I can ask if they want to do it. They've got quite amazing equipment, so.
Do they have a lens that'll show us gas pressure without a container?
You guys gave so many clues already for the trolls out there, man. I'm not gonna be amazed if they call right away Apollo and do something.
Could I ask a small favour of you, John?
Go ahead.
Could you bring up the definitions of open and closed systems, please?
Open and closed systems?
Yes, please.
Okay, wait one.
Anthony.
Yo.
Are you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the last couple of shows, we've highlighted the fact that GeoStreamer and Soundly were colluding to deceive both the audience and Anthony when GeoStreamer was incapable of coping with a simple one-to-one conversation with Anthony. And after the fact, Anthony went back and had a look at the Hangout, and it transpired that there was indeed a recording of Soundly coaching GeoStreamer. So this was put to them, and rather than just admit it, they lied through their back teeth. And I'm hoping that Anthony can actually play the section of audio when he's ready. Just let me know.
Go.
Yep, off you go.
So this is from my video on my channel, maybe a couple of weeks ago. Flat Earth GeoStreamer is also a liar. 3 minutes 6 seconds into the clip, you can hear the following thing said. I'm showing it on screen. That I'm just putting it through the software to emphasize the sound.
Interesting photograph there.
Yeah, they took it.
Can't really hear it, Anthony. You haven't shared sounds, I don't think.
Oh, hang on. My bad. Yeah, that's right. Sounds. This should now work. So this is basically Geo being fed by Soundly. Enjoy. This is what the Sean Hufford is telling us that he's going to go and find the hangout that this has come from. So good luck with that, Sean.
Still nothing, Anthony. No sound.
Alright, so I obviously need to unshare and then stop sharing. And then There we go. Right, just give me a sound check. That work?
No.
In that case, then I don't think I can do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not on my normal PC, and Skype can be a nightmare, and I think Skype's being a nightmare.
Okay.
Let me try doing it one last time. Right, let me do a sound check. Did that work then?
Nah. Okay, we'll give up.
Yeah, it's not going to do it.
Thank you for trying. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Shout out to Alan B. Alan B says, "Man, this show's dead, Tony. So boring and repetitive. He's killed his own show." No, what we've done is we've kept all the ballers out. I remember back at show kind of like 50, 55, 60 onwards. There was Curved Water in. There was Brenda von Hassen in. There was... I can't even think of all the people that were in. And they would lurk on the panel and they would spout their rhetoric nonsense to anybody that was listening. And basically the tides have turned now and none of them people can win anymore. So I don't think that that's considered so boring and repetitive. He's killed his own show. He's made his own show. He's got rid of everybody that is a moron. I think that's fantastic. If we'd have kept them out, if we had a way to keep them out in such a way that they couldn't join without blocking them, then that's what we would have done. There's only one person blocked, and that's Brenda von Hassen, because she deleted Crow 777's, I don't know, 600 and odd files worth of lunar research or whatever it was. I can't remember the ins and outs of it now, but she's the only one really that I've got blocked. Rumpus, I think I've got blocked too. But other than that, everybody else is free to join, and they don't come in anymore. So whether you class that as killing his own show or not, I don't class that as killing his own show. I class that as getting rid of the bullies that think they can throw their weight around about the shape of the earth, because they can't. So shout out to Alan B for that one.
Check in with John. How are you getting on, John?
Yeah, almost there. Jumped through a couple hoops. I have some issues with all my information, but I'll get there. Give me a minute.
No worries.
Well, what do all these older ballers actually offer? You know, do they bring anything new to the table? I don't think they do. And that's why they don't come in anymore, because the arguments that they thought were pretty sound for them over a period of a couple of years, once we destroyed that, they've run away with the legs between tails between the legs. That's why they don't show the faces.
If I can, I'll address Ricky Spanish. Nathan, can you prove the Earth is flat, or do you insist on proving that the Earth is not a ball? So I would assert that the Earth is obviously and observably flat. So in the case of images that Ranty produces, we have a situation. On the flat Earth side, we see a building because it's there. No further explanation is required. That's the end. I see a building because I see a building. That's it. End of statement. Now, if you're a globe head, you see a building and say, I have a model, and my model says that building's not there. Therefore, you must accept that light is being bent with terrestrial refraction 7/6 of a presupposed radius to bring these buildings back into view where they are not actually visible because they are blocked by an Earth curve we cannot see, and therefore we have a slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena hologram of the building in perfect proportions being bent back around a curved Earth that we never observe. That would be your assertion just by looking at a building. I just look at it and say it's there. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. You say, I see it, but it's not really there. It's an observed phenomena. So just to look at a building, you have to turn a concrete noun into an observed phenomena. I can just look at a building. There you go.
Yeah, they can't prove it scientifically.
And what's so devastating about these images and these constant images is the fact that that cannot happen in their model. Water has to bend. It has to have curvature of the water. That is their entire model. You cannot have flat water. So every time I go and show these images of these buildings that should be hidden by Earth curve, it destroys their model every single time, because water in their model has to curve. It just has to curve. You know, there's no two ways about it. You cannot have flat water. And what I show is flat water, and they hate it.
I'm ready if you want to. You want to see the citation, or do you?
Yeah, the full shebang. The reason I'll explain, John, so I'll just stick you up on screen. So a chap came in earlier today and was asserting that Earth is a closed system, despite it actually letting matter transfer.
That's preposterous. Listen, you got to know this stuff to pass. Seventh grade. I'll put this at seventh grade science. Let's go a little bit above fifth grade. This is seventh grade general science to know the difference between open and closed systems. So I don't even know why I even have to cite this, right? It's like having to cite ribeyes come from cows to a butcher. Preposterous, right? Stop. Open and closed systems, it's real easy. There's three types of systems. An open system is a system that it can exchange matter and energy with its surroundings. A closed system is a system that can only exchange energy with its surroundings. And an isolated system, a system that can't exchange matter nor energy with its surroundings. It's just that simple, right? And of course, I got the definition from how does the Earth system generate and maintain thermodynamic disequilibrium from the Royal Society A. This is NCBI database. The Earth is almost a closed system. Well, that's good for horseshoes and hand grenades. That means the Earth is an open system. I just gave a presentation on this a few days ago. What is the issue with these crayon munchers?
So can't it be open and closed at the same time?
No, that's like being a married and bachelor at the same time.
Yeah, you can't be an open closed box.
So what was this person? Who was it?
I don't know, some faceless troll that sounded just like Lewis Hackett and Goldemo guy.
Oh, right. Yeah. So is there any questions? I think we went through a presentation. We talked about hydrogen and meteorites and energy, solar radiation, right? This is easy stuff. Simple. Cut and dried. There's no interpretations here. It's either this or that. It's either a 1 or a 0. It's black or white.
Yes, and in the heliocentric world of nonsense spinning ball Earth, in the vacuum of outer space, Earth is an open system, according to heliocentrists.
Yeah. It depends on their argument. If they change it, you know, due to their argument constraints, and they think they're getting away with something. I mean, this is a comedy show.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else? Any other questions about this?
No, I think it's fairly simple. Open means that you can transfer both energy and matter. Closed, you can only transfer energy, not matter. Isolated, you can neither transfer any energy or any matter out of the system. So a closed system would be something like a thermos, where eventually you will have some heat transfer through the plastic container. However, that is still a closed system. No matter is escaping.
Not according to George.
If there's no vacuum of space, there's no issues with this, right? There's no discussion. But the discussion is because they say there's an emptiness of non-pressure out there, right?
Yeah, that's what does the nail.
And remember, this system, there's never been a system that's been witnessed as an isolated system. They just put it in here to cover all their bases, but no such systems exist in nature. So all we're dealing with are these two.
George
These
doesn't
are
understand how the Coriolis
thermodynamic
force effect.
systems.
George
Sorry?
does not understand how the Coriolis force or effect works. He tries telling people that there are 3 reference frames and doesn't understand there's only 2. He has to obfuscate the point because he's a moron. Well, because he's dishonest. He needs to obfuscate the point of Coriolis. He needs there to be 3 reference frames, but we all know that there's only 2. There's supposed to be the Earth spinning, being 1 reference frame, and the atmosphere stationary, being the other reference frame. So planes that take off and head one way should get faster than the planes that take off and head the other way. They should get slower, and George has to obfuscate that point because he's a moron.
George still thinks it's the 20th century. You've got to cut him some slack. I think he's going senile.
Yeah, I think he might be, actually. Poor George. Why don't we set up a
this could have been
GoFundMe,
this could have been all avoided but the story is too far on saying there's a vacuum of space. If they say it's a very low pressure system, because they keep talking about the pressure gradient difference, lower and lower. Okay, so up there is a very low pressure system. Yeah, I think that's okay, but they say there's no pressure.
And let's not forget Greater Sapien, who claims that he's now been duped. You can't be duped when you were told that you can't fly over the South Pole. It's your own stupid fault. You haven't been duped. You knew that it was a contentious issue.
Yeah.
Why are we even talking about him? I did a presentation on him about. Remember, it was like a month and a half ago.
Hey, listen, the guy put a video out, right, and he did this observation. Well, he did a test, and he was speaking about having 0.5 centimeter drop, and in his video, he talks about 0.5 centimeter drop, and then underneath he puts a caption which says 2 millimeter drop over 40 feet. He doesn't even know that 2 millimeters isn't 0.5 centimeter.
Yeah, but this is like Elmer Fudd heckling Tiger Woods. Don't even pay attention to these crayon munchers. I mean, Greater Sapien, he couldn't pass 5th grade general science, number 1, and he couldn't pass a 60-level basic reasoning course. Why are we even discussing these people? Right? Tiger Woods, he'd just walk right by and, snicker at him.
Well, the reason why we're talking about 3 of them, Soundly, GeoStreamer, and Sean Hufford, is because GeoStreamer had a cheeky 2-to-1 hangout when it was presented as a 1-to-1 hangout. But that in itself is, it's a bit of a crime. We'd have laughed at him. We'd have took the piss for a bit. But ultimately, it's not that big of a deal. But what is a big deal is that 3 of them then conspired to hide it and try and turn it against me and make it look like I was the one that was playing sound, that made it look like Soundly was having a conversation with GeoStreamer. And the reason why we're talking about them is because they're all dishonest, all of them.
Oh, I'm not saying anything about that. That's a different story. I'm talking about Greater Sapien, knucklehead. That's a different story. And by the way, John Hufford promised me in print that he would get that video. Where is it? Right?
Sean, I got a
doesn't know what
question
day of the
for
week
you.
it is.
Proof of concept. Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second, Ranty. Hold on a second. I got a point here. John Hufford, I challenged Sean Hufford when they conjured this friggin' story about this video. So I gave him the exact requirements that he needed to provide. They were very easy, and he said he was on it. That was 12 days ago. Where is the video?
There is no video. We all know it. We know that GeoStreamer was having a conversation with Soundly. We know that it was 2v1. At least.
Betty's? Okay.
Betty's bit,
done?
yeah.
That means GeoStreamer, Betty's bitch, and Soundly are frauds. So Fraudly and GeoStreamer, they're done. It's over. Right? Unless they can produce that video explicitly with what Soundly's saying within the time constraints. It's really simple. Go get that video. We want to see it. This isn't over. We're just not going to forget about it. Right? Go get it. Now.
They've got 2 weeks. They've had 2 weeks to go and get it. Where the hell is it?
Doesn't exist. We all know it doesn't exist.
Yeah, so
Sean
why have
is
they
a liar.
lied? Why have they lied through their back teeth about this being a hangout coming through Anthony's microphone when it's blatantly a conversation between the 2 of them? Why are they continuing to barefaced lie to everybody?
They're hoping it goes away now. They'll pretend that they haven't seen it.
Exactly right. Hope it goes away. No one's going to talk about it. That ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. produce the video like you said you were going to do. You can only judge a man by his word. You gave your word. You made a claim. Go get the video and support your claim. If you can't, then Geo Streber, Betty's bitch, and Fraudly are frauds. They're liars. And Sean Huffer, you're complicit after the fact, brother.
And not only is he complicit after the fact, he self-proclaims himself to be audio guy, and he's about as audio guy as I am a golfer, and I don't play golf. So if the absolute least that Sean is responsible is he's crap at audio, the worst is he needed to find plausible deniability at all costs, including his own reputation, his own self-gratification, self-perception. No matter what, they've got to find plausible deniability for them two morons lying. And they propagate that we are the liars, but we don't do that. If we get something wrong, we just admit it. But these guys can't admit it, won't admit it, and need to cover it up by conspiring to hide it. And none of you ballers will say a word to them. And I wonder why that might be.
I'm sorry, did you guys go over this earlier? And I'm just rehashing this?
A little bit. But Quantum,
no,
listen,
it's fine. Rehashing's good. Rehashing's good. These guys are utter dishonest. And people need to know this.
Quantum, I was talking about, did you guys go over this earlier in the show?
Yeah, Quantum, don't worry about it. Religious people lying.
I didn't catch that, Ranty. Go ahead one more time.
I said, what do you think of religious people lying?
Religious people? That's all the spinning ball-tards. They're all religious.
Okay, what about Awake Souls and Limitless channel absolutely lying?
Who are we talking about? Who are Awake Souls?
Yeah, exactly. Who are they? Well, they profess to be religious. They profess to be two witnesses from God, etc., etc.
What?
Have you never seen their channel?
Who are we talking about here?
They've been trolling us for months.
Oh, yeah. Okay, listen. Here is another Elmer Fudd, Tiger Woods scenario, right? When Tiger Woods walks by Elmer Fudd, he barely recognizes him. He doesn't even give him a look. And Elmer Fudd can heckle him all he wants, but Tiger Woods he keeps going like it's a fly. You see where I'm going with this? Don't even recognize.
Yes, I know. But the thing is, right, they came on the debates and they said 4 months, or the last 5 or 6 weeks at least, that if I was to go and do a live stream of these turbines, then they would do the biggest apology that YouTube had ever seen, right? So they've been calling me CGI Ranty for weeks and weeks. I go and do the live stream exactly as they asked. No apology given. I go and do a second live stream showing interaction with the group, with the chat, etc., etc., showing the wind turbines again. Still no apology. So I thought one of the 10 commandments was "Thou shalt not lie." Yeah. So
yeah,
exactly.
But no, it's "do not bear false witness." It's very specific.
All right.
But here we go again, Ranty. They're just baiting you. I mean, their claim is ridiculous to begin with, right? Anyone could go out there and shoot these pictures or shoot these videos. Anyone could do it. It's not impossible. It's not unreachable, right? They're just baiting you. Don't take the bait. Just blow them off. Heck with them.
Just thought I'd point it out, though.
Yeah, I got you, but you're wasting time. You're like Tiger Woods, right? Bending and weaving to Elmer Fudd's request. Would Tiger Woods do that? No.
Right, well, I've got another question for you then. What's a proof of concept? Is a proof of concept after the fact of doing an experiment?
After the fact?
Yeah. If you were to do a proof of concept.
It depends. I would have to see proof of concept. You'd have to give me an example.
Okay, so Greater Sapien wanted to do a proof of concept that he could bend a laser beam by changing the medium that it traveled through, by essentially shining the laser over some cold water which was filled with ice. And he was able to change the direction of the laser beam, right? Didn't say it was curving, but he was able to change it, just like he could do if you were shining it into a prism, you could actually change the direction of the light. So he said that was a proof of concept. But when he did that, and I Googled what proof of concept actually is, it's after an experiment, because I called him out on it. So he said that he wasn't doing an experiment, it was a proof of concept. He's getting screwed again, basically. He can't do maths. He doesn't know what proof of concept is.
Right.
The guy's a joke.
Right, that's what I said in the beginning. I mean, proof of concept, yeah. Proof of concept that he's a crayon muncher, concept proven. Yeah.
Glad we cleared that up.
I'm glad we did too. Are we done with open and closed systems? Am I going to have to bring this up 30 more times over the next 3 months?
No, but can you go through it one more time?
Sure.
Yes, please. I didn't understand. I'm a baller, remember?
Okay, I'll go by the numbers. We'll paint by the numbers. So, open and closed systems. It's real simple. I have 3 here for completeness. So we have an open system, closed system, and an isolated system. An open system is a system that can exchange matter and energy with its surroundings. So both. A closed system is a system that can only exchange energy with its surroundings, right? So only one. Matter is excluded in closed systems. And of course, isolated system is the negation of both. A system that can't exchange matter nor energy with its surroundings, right? This is very simple. It's 3 types of thermodynamic systems, right? And they go through, like I said, they go through the rest of this citation and they come up with the Earth is almost a closed system. Like I said, you can't get almost here. It either is or it isn't. It's either a 1 or a 0. It's black or white. So the Earth is almost a closed system. That means it is an open system by default, right? And then we went over, like I said in the presentation, you can go back and see it. We talked about hydrogen exchange, meteorite exchange, that's matter. We talked about solar radiation, photons being exchanged, and heat. That means the Earth is an open system by definition.
Sorry, just to add one thing onto the end of that, John, sorry. By their definition of a heliocentric world, not our definition.
Yes, that is correct. According to the pagan religitard heliocentric spinning ball religion, their Earth is an open system. Of course, it's not, because one of the reasons, and it's a big one, gas pressure exists. Therefore, there must be a container. It's just that simple. Can't get any simpler than that. Okay, we good?
But I've heard people in the comments say, John, that would be an affirming the consequent.
It's not an affirming the consequent, because I could prove the if. I can prove gas pressure exists, and I can definitely prove that you need containers to have gas pressure. So that's not an affirming the consequent formological fallacy. A typical affirming the consequent formological fallacy would take something like this form. If the Earth is a sphere, then, right? Well, you haven't proved the Earth is a sphere yet. So that's an affirming the consequent formological fallacy. So they're night and day. They just don't know what they're talking about. I don't know. What they getting this from Wiki? From their alma mater or something? They just parroting this stuff without evaluating, without doing their due diligence, and zero scrutiny. They're just parroting this stuff like it carries weight. Like I said, all you have to do with every single one of their claims is just scratch Formica deep under each of their claims, and it all falls apart.
John, can I ask you a question?
What is this, like Q&A, John?
Yes.
Yeah, can you go through it again?
I was just wondering. You said you can prove, and I agree, by the way, you said you can prove entropy and the vacuum and how that works. So would you concede that you would actually require man-made devices to do that?
I'm going to tell you what, Arwen, right now. I'm going to give you this one chance. All right. I already know what road you're going to try to go down here. I'm going to give you this one chance.
I agree with everything you said.
I'm going to give you one chance. I'm going to give you a mulligan. Do not go down this road, or I'm going to stomp a mud hole dead in your ass. Okay?
I'm just very curious.
I'm just going to tell you that. If you continue down this road, it's going to end badly. So,
is that
it's up to you.
I say go for it, you two.
No, I'm just really curious.
Curious about what?
No negative intentions.
Okay.
I have made certain statements and never got any response to them on my shows.
Okay, what's the problem? Okay, I'll try to be very nice if you present it nicely.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead. What's the question?
Have you used man-made devices as part of your experiment setup to prove
there is no experiment
to prove entropy in gas pressure?
Okay. I know this is a difficult subject, right? With laws. And I was going to do a presentation on this. However, my presentation got deleted. This is somewhat of a difficult topic for some people, but scientific laws, the physical laws, they call them scientific laws, but they're actually not scientific.
Oh.
The physical laws are just descriptions of natural laws. So, and remember, scientific means the scientific method. The scientific method is dedicated solely to elucidating and identifying cause and effect relationships. Are you following me up to this point?
Yeah.
Now, like the second law of thermodynamics, entropy, right? It's not scientific because you can't do any experiments on cause and effect. Let me give you an example. The second law of thermodynamics basically states that energy moves from higher concentration to lower concentration always. Higher pressure to lower pressure always. Can I ask you a question? What causes entropy?
The inherent need for gas to expand itself.
That's not a cause.
To find room between the molecules.
That's not a cause.
Yeah, it is. That is what.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay.
The needs aren't causes. You need a cause for the effect. So what I'm trying to tell you here is you're going to go down a road, it's going to jack you up because they call it scientific laws, but they're not scientific. They're just descriptions of natural laws. There is no cause and effect here. It's a what is issue. Why does entropy do that? We don't know, and we'll never know. You can't formulate a valid scientific hypothesis for that. It just does and is. They're laws. They're natural laws. They just
but
are.
You have to prove that it works.
You don't have to prove that it works. It works.
No, that's yeah. Sorry, that's pseudoscience.
Sorry, what?
That's
you're out of context.
That's pseudoscience by your own definition.
It's not pseudoscience. They're natural laws. It's not science to begin with.
Yeah, but you have to prove the natural laws.
I can prove it. I can prove entropy easily. Well, I can build a fire. I can build a fire. Okay. What do you want?
I want to know how you're going to do it.
Bill, how am I going to do what?
Your experiment.
I build a fire. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not, you can't formulate a scientific hypothesis.
I think you probably could. I could think of
you
something.
Cannot. What is particularly confusing about you cannot form a valid scientific hypothesis with a law? That's why they're called laws and not theories. It's not the theories of thermodynamics. They are the laws of thermodynamics. Theories follow the scientific method.
I can think of one.
Oh, God.
I just did. How about, it's going to be maybe clunky at first, but entropy is basically the expansion need the effect. So I'm not formulating it as a hypothesis just yet. But as
do it
a
officially.
variable, you could have the total volume pressure differential, like opening up a vacuum chamber of a certain size.
Natural
You could
phenomena,
vary that.
please.
So you could say, okay, the pressure differential causes the entropy, and you can make it less, you could make it more. So you
Doesn't
could
cause
vary
pressure. It doesn't. Go ahead. Natural phenomena observed, please.
The air escaping at a certain velocity
Air
to find an equilibrium within the container.
higher concentration to
Geyser is not an example.
But yeah, we would have to use equipment for this. So
It's all right. I mean, we know that, higher concentration to lower concentration. That's fine. All right. Hypothesis, please.
let's see. The speed of the air is caused by see the differential in pressure.
I hate when you do that. Independent variable.
The
Wait a second.
differential in pressure.
This has to be
Differential in pressure is the independent variable.
Hold on. There's a bit of a problem there.
Why?
Well, isn't that your observed phenomena?
Yeah. I was waiting for him to hang himself.
Oh wait.
Oh, my
Then I
bad.
got it
Sorry.
wrong. No, but the cause is what you can vary and manipulate. So the total vacuum, basically, that's going to be released on the to the new container. That is the cause. So that is what you're varying.
This is differential pressure
No, it's not
right
the
here.
observed phenomena. Hold
Oh,
on.
you had a super chat, Nath, by the way, from Ravensong.
No, the observed phenomena is the escaping from higher to lower concentration. Yes.
Differential in pressure. Okay. What causes that? Thank you.
Total
for
volume of
proving my case.
pressure.
Hold on. Go on. Have a go, Arwen.
Total volume of below pressure.
That's not in your hypothesis.
Volume's a concept, right?
Yep.
It doesn't cause anything.
Pressure? Total
No,
pressure.
volume.
I have a question. Is I don't know how you call those things, geysers. Those things like when the water comes out of the air because of the pressure. Is that like can that be taken as a natural phenomena, observable?
Yeah,
Geyser?
you can observe that definitely.
Oh,
And
cool.
then based on that, you can start formulating.
You can have like smoke particles within the air, so you can see the movement.
Let's stick with this. What's the cause of the differential in pressure?
Well,
No, not
you gotta start.
Arwen.
No, that's
You
not
gotta start
relevant in
figuring
the
out.
experiment.
Not you, Arwen.
No, that's not relevant in the experiment. You change.
To figure out,
You
right?
change the
Right?
total
What's causing
volume
that thing?
of vacuum.
Hold on. I want to hear what Arwen's got to say. Sorry, just don't talk over the top of him. What's the independent variable, Arwen? What's the cause of entropy?
The volume of the new introduced pressure system.
No, your volume
into
isn't here.
the container.
You have no volume here in your hypothesis. You're just instituting it. But like you said, volume is just a concept. It doesn't cause anything.
Well, it would, absolutely. If you have a very large container of vacuum added and then introduced in the old closed system, making a new closed system, then yeah, the air will much
then
more
no,
rapidly
then
escaping.
no, you don't have a cause. You can't.
Yeah, you
There's
do.
no cause
Yeah,
here.
you do.
No, you
Size
don't.
of the new container introduced.
No, you don't. So
Yeah,
contain
you do. That
volume
volume,
causes
size of the container
entropy.
introduced. That is what it is.
That is what it is. Volume is not a cause. This is apodictic. Volume does not cause entropy. It's just
Low pressure introduced.
volume.
Vacuum. It all depends on how much room there is for the vacuum to have been drained.
It's your conceptual medium. It's not a cause. It's like time. Time doesn't cause anything.
You have to vary it.
Can I say something, Arwen?
What?
Can I say something? In my example, the heat from the underground, that will be the cause. Therefore, you see the
What did you say?
You're trying to establish the cause of geysers as opposed to the cause of entropy.
Right.
Oh, that's not. I'm sorry. It's not the same. Then I'm sorry.
Okay, so Arwen, are you willing to concede that scientific laws, although not adhering to the scientific method?
Absolutely not.
It's not that they're not true, right? See, the scientific method is solely designed to elucidate cause and effect relationships, okay? It's very narrow. However, just because something is not science or can't be elucidated by the scientific method.
Volume is.
I'm not done yet.
Volume
I'm
is
not
a valid
done yet.
part of this world.
I wasn't done yet. Just because it all depends on the question that you're asking, right? If it's outside the scientific method, there's no problem. It doesn't mean that it's not true, because there's different methods to arrive at truth. People have different methods to get at truth, right? The scientific method is only one. Logic is another one. Logic combined with known scientific principles is another. I'm a Christian. Another one of my methods is using scripture, right? So even though you can't adjudicate something with the scientific method, doesn't mean it's untrue. You follow?
It's a trick.
What's a trick?
How can you not use volume in the scientific method?
I just told you 3 times. I'm not saying it again. Maybe Nathan can help explain it.
It's a concept, Darwin. It's like saying time is the cause of something. It's not. It's a concept. Volume will never cause anything.
Size cannot be used?
That's another concept.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, same with distance. Distance is not the cause of things.
Isn't another word for volume amount?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Sure, but if you formulate it, Arwin, into an if and then statement, which this isn't a cause and effect situation, but if volume then entropy, makes no sense.
Volume of the vacuum introduced. It's very specific.
I'm sorry, I can't.
My question to you, Arwen, would be what significance is the volume? Why can't you just say if vacuum?
I've been trying to tell you, the bigger the volume of vacuum introduced, the more rapid the entropy. The spreading out of the gases and the smoke particles to find an equilibrium in the new container. That is entropy.
That's not a cause.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a cause. It's a variable for the amount of expression. It's not the cause.
That's what the scientific method is about. That's how you prove things. It's the variable. It's the independent variable.
Have a cause.
It's how you prove cause and effect.
Yeah, I do. The size of the volume.
There you go again, repeating the same nonsense again.
Yeah, exactly, because that is the independent variable.
Yeah,
and you're just denouncing it like, oh, we can't use this for no good reason, even though it's tangible.
I gave you a reason. It's a frigging concept. concepts don't cause anything. It's just that simple.
Ridiculous.
So you can say nah all you want. It's moronic.
Isn't
Ridiculous.
death a concept as well? But it causes, you know, death. I mean, sorry. I mean, isn't death a concept as well? But it's pretty
Death?
tangible.
Death?
Yeah.
Spell it, because I'm not understanding you.
Dood.
Yeah, it's just total solipsism, dude. Sorry.
So, hold on, Arwen.
Get out of here, Arwen.
Hold on,
You're
Arwen.
nonsense.
Hold on. Apollo, can you just repeat the word or spell it so we understand what you're saying?
I will put it in chat.
He said death.
Death as in dying?
Yes, isn't that a concept as well?
No, people die. They stop breathing. Their brain stops functioning. The heart stops pumping.
Well, if I have a big cube, then I can... It's tangible that a bigger cube has more volume than a smaller cube, right? That's tangible.
But you're confusing the cube with the space in between, the volume.
Okay.
Anything else?
Did
Any
you
more
use
for
the
any
word
more?
volume there?
Jeez, oh man. All right, Nathan, we done with this?
I think so.
No.
So just before we round out, John, can you go through open and closed systems again? And with that, I think I'll say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible, and of course a massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do, but if you like the show, maybe consider sharing it with a friend, or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!